otherwise, I would like to introduce you to Olina Daskalaki, our community manager at InnoAgora, who will provide you a very, very short intro on our site. And then Fanny and Mark can take the lead.
Right. So I am Olina. It's very good to meet you all. We're very happy that you joined this call today, and we're hopeful that it's going to be very useful for you. So the very few things that I would like to share about InnoAgora is that it's a community that is a part of the platform of EuroEquity, which is the platform that BPI France has created almost 10 years ago. And the goal of EuroEquity and the goal of InnoAgora is to connect enterprises, investors, and supporting mechanisms so they can meet. And we want to be a matchmaking platform, so we can have either funding or different business partnerships that can be created through that. And for that reason, we created a Greek community that can bring the Greek players that are extrovert and innovative and technologically advanced to bring them in contact with likely-minded entrepreneurs and investors from Europe. And that's why we have created this community, and we're very happy that you're a part of it. And Fanny will take over, and she's gonna help us out and help you out on how to fill your profile and how you can make the most out of the platform.
Thank you so much, Olina and Kostas, and it's great to meet everyone here and to hear more about everyone's businesses as well, and European or global even ambitions. And I'm very glad to hear that, because that's exactly why InnoAgora was created, and we're here to help you and to support you to expand in those different markets, as well as in Greece, of course. I'm going to do a short demo of EuroEquity by sharing my screen. Just to present myself first, I'm Fanny Delaval. I'm the manager for Europe at EuroEquity, which is part of BPI France, the French Innovation Agency. And as Kostas and Olina mentioned, we're working together to build this InnoAgora community on the EuroEquity platform that was created by BPI France. The idea of the EuroEquity platform is that we don't want to have a million startups on it and a million investors. We only choose the most qualified startups that are qualified and selected by local partners on the ground. So if you are here today and if you're part of the InnoAgora community, it is sort of a seal of excellence from your Greek partners. So here HDB or other local partners that HDB works with, that you are a high potential startup that any investor that is on the platform should be looking at and should be interested in potentially investing in. So I will start the demo right now, starting with the InnoAgora community, which I think if you're here today, you probably are already members of. If you're not, I think Olina, please do contact her and she'll make sure that you get access. So the InnoAgora community is, as Olina mentioned, is to really be a community for the best startups in Greece to meet with each other, as well as to meet with investors and other types of business partners like incubators or even corporate partners or other companies. So the way that we do that is that Olina here selects with different local partners, which I'll mention a little bit later, the best companies in Greece, as well as qualified investors or other partners to add to the community. Once you're part of the community, you have access to the discussion feed where HDB and the other partners post relevant opportunities for funding or events or other activities. For instance, I know that HDB is planning a pitch session, which will be organized soon. You will hear, of course, more about it if you look at the discussion feed. So here, of course, it's also a place to exchange with other companies, like here George posted from HDB, posted about the holidays, but it's also, of course, a place to again share opportunities. So Alina, as you see here, posted about various opportunities in the last few weeks only. So I encourage you to actively look at the discussion feeds. You can also actually, as a member of the community, directly post on it. So you can add a post to the community. If you have a question for the other companies or potential investors that are part of the community, for any of the partners that are members of that community, if you want advice on expanding to another market or finding the best lawyer or retailer or other our supplier in this or that area, feel free to post it here, and other companies or potential partners will reply. The other interesting tab here is the members tab, where you can find the list of all of the companies, investors, business support organizations that are part of the InnoAgora community, so that were invited by these local ecosystem partners in Greece to join the community. So here, of course, you have different companies that you can scroll. You also have some investors that you can look into, and you can see, for instance, if you're looking for a business partner, you can look only at the companies by clicking here that are also looking for business partners. If you look at the investor tab, you can directly contact them by clicking on their profile page to ask them for a short interview to pitch your company. So you can really, this gives you preferred access to the other members of the community that have been qualified. As I mentioned before, HDB is working with several partners on the ground to build this qualified community. Two of the ones that have contributed so far and are active in the community are SEV and SBE. I know that we are currently in the process of adding another partner, and we'll be adding a few more in the coming weeks and months as well, in coordination with HDB. So this is a brief introduction of the community. I want to show you what a company profile looks like. And this is actually a Greek company. So I'm sure a lot of you have already created a profile and have already filled it entirely. But if you haven't, I highly encourage you to fill it as much as you can, because this is the way that investors will identify, or partners will identify, whether to get in touch with you. So if I am an investor and I'm looking for a qualified Greek company in a specific sector on the Euroquity platform, and I see the name of your company, I click on it, and your profile doesn't have, you know, a video description or an image here, or you haven't indicated that you're raising funds, I'm likely not gonna stay a long time on your profile page, and I'll move on to the next company. So it's very, very important that you spend the 5 minutes that you need. It's very short to fill it today or tomorrow. Simply, adding a description, a video or an image of presentation of the company, some latest news, some team members to personalize a little bit the experience. And we highly encourage you, if you are either raising funds or are looking for partnerships, to activate these two tabs. So these are two, they're not tabs that appear on every startup's profiles. Startups can activate them if they're fundraising or if they're looking for partners. So if you're not, if you're fundraising but you didn't activate this tab, then investors again won't look at your profile because they'll think that you're probably not fundraising. So just to take a quick look at the We Are Raising Funds tab here, you can give a lot of information about the project, what level of financing you're fundraising, how much, the description of your fundraising objectives, and any previous roundtables that you've been a part of that investors might be interested in. And you can also, in the data room, which I encourage you to do, add some files which will be public so that everyone on Euroquity can access. So that can be, just a flyer to explain your company, as well as investor files that only people that are on Euroquity with an investor profile can access. And that is a great way I highly encourage you to, for instance, upload your pitch deck on this, because then investors can very easily just look at the pitch deck and then contact you through this send a message button that you have here to inquire about your company and get more information. Once you've filled your profile, one of the next steps that you can do, apart from posting on the InnoAgora community and really making sure that you follow the discussion feed for opportunities posted on there, is to actively look at potential either investors or business partners that you might be able to contact. So you can do that here. I'm on the Euroquity main page. So this is the page that you would get to when you log on to your profile, where you can get various information about the messages you've sent or received, any visits or likes or followers of your profile that you've received, of your company profile that you've received recently, for instance. And you also have this search bar where you can actively look for instance, investors that are looking to invest in companies, or for other companies that are currently looking for business partners, or just more generally for all of the companies that are on Euroquity, or for all of the investors that are on Euroquity, knowing that you can, and I'll show you, here I clicked on the they are looking to invest subtab. You can then filter by specific search criteria. So here I said that I was looking for investors. I can choose what kind of investor I'm actually looking for. Am I looking for a business angel? Am I looking for a corporate venture, a bank, an individual investor? Same thing for backing organizations. I can choose the type of backing organization that I'm looking for. I can also filter by sector. So I heard, a few of you saying you're either in the food industry or in logistics or other. You can very easily filter to look at investors that specifically mentioned an interest in those areas, or for business partners that are mentioned an interest in those areas. If you're looking to expand in another country and, for instance, looking for business partners there, you can filter by the country that you're looking to expand in. So, for instance, and very in a non-biased way, but if you're looking to expand in France, you can filter by the France filter and only see companies or investors that are based in France. And so this really enables you to filter the profile, because otherwise, I encourage you to do that, because as you'll see, otherwise you get a lot of results, and it's easier if you filter and you let the platform do a lot of the work really for you. The last option that I want you to be aware of is the community feature that we have on the platform. So as Olina and Kostas mentioned, we've created this community for InnoAgora that you are part of, that's powered by HTB. We also have several other communities that are managed by other European partners, where these partners regularly post opportunities in specific sectors. So I know that Olina and George are regularly looking at those other communities to specifically share them also share the opportunities mentioned on them in the InnoAgora community. You might also be interested in also directly joining some of those communities, just to also increase your visibility to investors. As for instance, I'm taking the example of the Blue Invest community, which is an open one that you can simply request an invitation to and then automatically join. Investors that are looking to invest in a ocean-oriented company, for instance, will specifically be looking at this community, and knowing that you're part of the Blue Invest community as well as the InnoAgora community will be a plus for increased visibility. So I encourage you to look again on this search feed and look at the 36 communities that are currently on EuroEquity. Some are open to join freely. Some you'll see are closed and you have to actually have an invitations. So for the ones that are completely open, if they correspond to your sector or your geographical area or other interest, I also encourage you to join them. I will stop here with the demo of the EuroEquity platform and see if you have any questions for myself or HDB that we can answer at this time.
You can also share with us if you have already used the platform and how you have done it, if you have encountered any issues, or if there's anything that you have found useful so far, and so we can keep in mind what is interesting for you, or if it's something that you're going to start doing soon. That's also very interesting. If you heard something that is that was unexpected from what Fanny said.
Olina, also maybe we can share some of our thoughts on 2022, what we are planning. But let's hear first from the companies.
Can I ask a question regarding the funding tab of the company profile? Who is this information disclosed to if we add information in the funding needs and the fund raised information?
Yes, very good question. So that information actually is only visible to people with an investor profile. So I could see it on the company that I showed because I looked at it through an investor profile. If I'm another company or I have a company profile or a business support organization profile, I wouldn't be able to see that data.
Thank you.
Could you share what is your main goal out of this platform? Just to have a first understanding.
Sorry, is that for me or?
No, from Mr. Nikolaidis.
I'm currently exploring the platform, so everything is new for me, and I'm trying to find to locate myself in the vast information that exists in it. What I would be interested in would be to either find partners abroad in order to export our solutions in the healthcare sector, or have contacts with potential investors that is having an open channel of communication that is a bit more direct and let's say a bit more vetted for potential matches.
Okay,
yes,
great.
and I think the platform is exactly made for that. I'll let Olina also talk about it more in the context of InnoAgora specifically, but it could be actually interesting for you to maybe reach out to the HDB team and discuss your specific needs and so that they can guide you more specifically on that. But Olina, I'll let you say more.
I just wanted to share the same, that I think EuroEquity and InnoAgora is exactly what you need, because you can either find partners abroad or even in Greece, and at the same time look for funding. So I think it will be of a great value for you. And I think Mr. Ioachimidis, also you would like to share something? I can see a raised hand.
Yes, I would like to say that we have been using the platform since 2018, actually, because if I'm not mistaken, the platform was a kind of, let's say, since companies, they had the seal of excellence, I think by default it was given to them. And so we know the platform, we have been using the platform. Actually, our company mostly has been using the platform for investors, so to be able to find investors, because we have a much larger pool. If I'm not mistaken, there are 2,000 investors from the Central Europe, mainly, if I'm not mistaken, again, it's from Germany, Luxembourg, France, Belgium, and Netherlands, and a few from UK. So I think this is a great platform to be able to find investors and send them direct the pitch, and so to have direct contact with them. And I think from our own experience, this is the most important that we have seen. And plus the networking with some major companies.
Fantastic.
Right.
Thank you. We'll
Yeah.
make you an ambassador, Mr. Yakimidis. We'll write down your name and we'll do a testimonial. Thank you
Yes,
for this.
it's a very nice platform. It's a very nice platform, and has a really very good the way that it has been built with the stars, and it's quite very well detailed, and you can pick up the kind of investor that you would more interested, you know. So it's a very nice one.
Great. That's great to hear. I would like to excuse me because I have to go to another meeting, but you can continue with some more Q&A. It's a great opportunity to have BPI France team here. So feel free to ask more questions and interact with them. So hope I will see you all in 2022 in more events, and yeah, it will be great. Thank you all on my side.
Thank you, Kostas. Bye.
Okay.
So is there any more questions from the company side? Is there something specific that you'd like to learn today, or as Mr. Nicolaidis said, you're just trying to figure out how you can use the platform at the moment?
I would like to make a
Please.
company, sorry for taking time, just a very short
please.
one. My major one is because this is, I know that the platform itself, the Euro Equity actually, does have calls that are related with various events. But on the other hand, these are, you know, for all over European Union. I don't know if InnoAgora will make a kind of filtering this and try to send for Greek companies, because, you know, they don't correspond all of them for Greek companies, you know. There are geographical things and so on inside. So will it be like this, or how are you thinking to do it? I mean, because you just mentioned, for example, there's going to be a pitch event, yeah? So this pitch event will be just for Greek companies via InnoAgora, right? Okay.
No, sorry. Yeah, I was just waiting for you to finish the question. So we are planning on having e-pitching events, as you mentioned, but it's going to be like the companies are going to be the Greek ones, the members of InnoAgora, but from the investor sides, we're going to try to attract investors, either Greek ones, but for sure from Europe as well. And this is where our partners from BPI France are going to be of a help, because they can find out who are the investors that could be interested in that. And so we're going to connect on that, and that's going to be the same logic on matchmaking, on the matchmaking events as well. So we're going to have an open call on companies that are going to be interested from InnoAgora, but also we're going to try to extend the invitation to other members of EuroEquity in general, and then we're going to create the matchmaking event that we're going to bring them together. So that's exactly the reason that we created the community in the first place, to bring let's say the best, the most advanced Greek companies, and then try to help them to get a corridor in mainly Europe, but also wherever EuroEquity has members.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any more questions? Otherwise, I just want to finish on that note as well, that we, like the main events that we're planning on having on 2022, that we're already planning ahead, of course, and we're going to share for every month in advance the type of events that we're going to have. But we're going to have some onboarding webinars like this one, but the main events are going to be the one that I just said, that is going to be e-pitching events. So this is going to be for companies that are looking for funding, or for investors that are interested into investing in companies. And then on the other hand, it's going to be matchmaking events where companies are going to be able to find other business partners from Greece or from Europe. And then on top of that, we're planning for some webinars that the topics came from some discussions that we had with some members, so that we think that is going to be very interesting for the InnoAgora community. And it's going to be from the way to pitch, or how to get a patent, how to protect your intellectual property, how to have the right marketing strategy, like different type of topics that we think that are going to be interesting, and we're going to spread them throughout the year. And as Fanny said, we're going to make all the announcements in our discussion feed. So it's going to be great if you stay tuned and if you follow our news on that. And of course, if we see that there are some topics or some events that are interesting for some specific sectors of the companies, we're going to contact you more personally through the messages so we can make sure that you receive the information. I think that's all from our side. I don't know if Fanny, would you like to share anything else, or are you also?
No, I think this sounds like a really great program, and I really encourage you to participate in all of those events. I've seen them organized in other countries, and they've always really brought high impact for participating startups. So I highly encourage you to follow again that discussion feed and look out for emails from Alina.
Great. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you.